our blocks out, foam rollers today. Towards the end of class, we'll stretch with them. Have a seat, make yourself comfy. Whatever is comfortable for you, that's where we're going to take it. Hands are on your lap and sit up tall. So I want you to feel your sitting bones settle down into your block or your mat. We want our shoulders down and relaxed and our chin level. Eyes can close or the gaze is off your cheekbones. As we settle in, we bring our attention to our breath. You feel your inhale through your nose. Feel your exhale, nose or mouth, whichever is more comfortable. Once you have the connection with your breath, breathe a little deeper into your diaphragm, your ribs, your chest. Feel your exhale as the breath releases all the way out to the bottom of your belly. As you focus on your inhale, feel your rib cage open to the sides, get broad, breathe laterally. Take one more full inhale, full exhale. At the end of your breath, eyes open, hands meet, heart center. With an inhale, reach up, hands heart center as you exhale. 2 more times. We reach up with an inhale, hands heart center, exhale. One more time, it's your inhale as you reach up. Exhale, hands heart center. Bring your hands to your lap, cow cat here. You lift your chest, take an inhale. Drop your chin to your chest, round through your spine, exhale. It's an inhale as you lift your chest and open. It's an exhale as you round release. One more time. Feel the inhale as you lift your chest. Feel the exhale as you release down. Sit up tall, bring your arms to the side, reach your right arm up, give yourself a nice stretch down the right side of your body. Release the right arm down, left arm goes up as you take your stretch. One more time, each side. We lift the right arm up, press the right hip down, lengthen the side. Switch sides, left arm goes up. Release your arm down, take your twist to the right. Arms stay low, take a gentle twist to the right. Gentle twist to the left. Bring yourself to the center, hands on your lap. Take some upper body circles. Just get some movement. Think length right here. You still reach through the top of your head as you take it around. And then you switch directions and take it in the other direction. Finish this circle, bring your legs in front, take little windshield wipers right here. You're going to take your legs off to one side, then the other. Just where it's comfortable, getting the movement through your hips as you take it side to side. And from here, you're going to just lift a leg, add some ankle circles. Get some circles around for your ankles in one direction. And then take it around in the opposite direction. Here's the other leg. You're going to lift the other leg, add your circles. switch, take them around in the other direction, circle, circle, circle. And now we start taking ourselves down onto our hands and knees. We are going to start with our cow cat. Wrists under shoulders, knees are under hips. And then you start moving wherever it's appropriate and it feels right for you as you move through your spine. Work with your breath. You feel the inhale. You feel the exhale. Once you finish this one, bring yourself right to center and we thread the needle. We're going to reach the right arm up and then thread it under. Now we're going to take this as a flow. You're going to reach under, then you bring yourself up, take an inhale as you reach, and an exhale as you go under. It's a reach to the side and then a reach under. One more time, take the reach. Now we're going to hold it under right here. And before you go too deep, if it works for you, take your leg out to the side, add a little extra leg stretch as you take the arm out. Start bringing yourself back up on both your hands. Keep the leg out and just add a little rock forward back. We're adding just a little more movement, maybe stretching through the inner thigh, stretching through the hips. Just a gentle little rock forward back. Once you finish this one, bring yourself back to center and we take it to the other side. It's a thread the needle. Left arm goes out, and then you thread it under. It's an inhale as you reach out. It's an exhale as the arm slides under. Here comes the out and the under. One more time. You can hold the arm under here. Leg can go out to the side, adding that little extra leg stretch. Arm goes out if it feels right. Bring yourself up to your hands. Here's your little rocking forward back so you get that extra stretch through your hips, your thigh. Then when you finish this one, bring yourself back to your hands and knees, and we will lower ourselves down into Sphinx. It'll give us a chance to warm up the back a little bit. Carefully take your legs out, reach your toes away. Here comes that lengthening top of the head to the toes, feeling your stretch right here. Release yourself down, take your arms by the side, let your fingers go towards your toes. Locust here, legs come up when you're ready. Hands are by your rib cage. Here's your cobra, bring yourself up, give yourself a nice stretch. And maybe you look over your right shoulder, look over your left, make it feel good. Slowly release down. We're doing locust one more time, but let's start with our fingertips. Reach them out towards the front. Then you would lift the upper body, lower body comes up. So we're starting with this long stretch, fingertips and toes reaching away from each other. Now you sweep your hands back by your thighs. Let your fingers touch your toes. Hands are by your rib cage, shoulders back. Cobra as you bring yourself all the way up one more time. There's that big stretch. And then gently, you can start releasing yourself down. Child's pose when you get there. Let your hips press back and give yourself a child's pose wherever that is. Sometimes it feels better to keep your hips high and take your stretch higher. Sometimes it feels really nice to go lower. So check in where it feels best today. Bring yourself back to your hands and knees. We're going into a low lunge. Take the right foot to the front. You keep your back toes tucked under. Bring yourself up so you get a nice stretch right here. And then you would fingertips go up as you add this stretch right here. So we're opening up our quadricep, our hip flexor. Little twist, arms come down as you come outside your thigh. Let your fingertips go back up. Release your arms down. And we're going to take it to the other side. You're going to take the opposite leg to the front. Fingertips go up. There's this stretch. Here comes the twist. Bring it back to the front. We're going to take this right into standing. So right here, support yourself, bring yourself up. There is your lunge. Now today we're going to start using the block. Now this is always optional. You don't have to. I like to add the block between our thighs. Periodically, it just gives you a chance to bring more awareness to what's happening with your legs. It's a chance to find your balance. So I'm going to have you bring your hands to your heart center here. I'm going to have you wiggle your toes so you can find the base of your feet. So you want to feel heels, balls of the feet, they're even. If you're comfortable with it, close your eyes. We're also working on balance here. So not only are we balancing front and back of our foot, you're also balanced right and left. If you need to slide a little bit right and left to get that centered feeling. And then we just hold the pose. So with our eyes closed, I just want you to feel yourself centered. Take one more breath here. And then with an inhale, reach your arms up. Bring your hands to heart center. We're doing this 2 more times. You're taking an inhale, you reach up. Hands, heart center. One more time like this, and just check, did you keep your weight centered each time you lift? Hands, heart center. This time you inhale, reach up, and take a side stretch to the right. So I'm gonna lift up and over, but I still have my feet grounding and keeping myself centered. We bring it up. Here's the side stretch to the left. Bring yourself to center. Take a little half fold. Hands are going to come to your thighs. You can press your hips back. Weight is still centered. Hips press back. And now with an inhale, arms reach all the way up right here. And take it into a chair pose. Let your hips slide back. And there's your chair pose right there. Bring your hands down, heart center. And when we stand, lift up to your toes. Find your balance as your heels come up a little or a lot. Heels go down. And we're repeating that one more time. Reach up, take a side stretch. Or reach up and over to one side. Lengthen. Keep your weight centered. Bring it to center. And now off to the other side. Bring yourself to center. Hands are going to come to your thighs. Take your forward fold. Hips press back. Right there. Did you keep your weight centered on your heels? Balls of the feet. Hips press back. Here comes that inhale, reach up, use your core, chair pose here, sliding down to where it works for you as you hold your chair pose. Let's bring our hands to heart center. Add a twist to the right. Bring yourself to center. Twist to the left. Bring yourself to center. Lift up, heels go up to right here. Find your balance, lift your heels. Bring it up, and then go ahead. Release it all the way down. You can take your block, set it to the side. We are going to go through a vinyasa here, meaning we're going to take it down to the floor and use our plank. Set yourself up, take a big inhale, reach up. Forward fold as you exhale. Soften, knees can always bend, neck relaxes. Halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Bring your hands to the mat, walk your feet back. Here is your plank pose. We're gonna hold our plank here. I want you to feel the engagement in your plank. Check in with your breath. One more breath here. Knees come down, we're on our hands and knees. We're practicing our balancing here. Take one leg out behind. Opposite arm goes out. So when you're ready, you would lift your arm and leg and hold it here. We hold the balance. Take one more breath. Release this side down. And now we take it to the other side. Arm and leg, they go up when you're ready. Release this side down, and then we're gonna take crunches on the other side. Set yourself up in your balance. So we have our arm and leg upright here. And now we add elbow to knee as you crunch in, and then extend it back. We add your crunch in, extend it out. 2 more times. You bring it in, you extend it out. 1 more time. Extend it out, little pause, hold it here. Release this side, and we get ready to take it to the other side. Arm and leg out. First, we find our balance. Once you have that, we bring our elbow to our knee, you crunch in, you extend it out. You crunch it in, you extend it out. Here's the in and the out. One more time. Bring the crunch in. Bring it out, hold it out, hold it. Release the arm and leg. Now you're gonna take your right leg forward into a lunge. We're gonna stand today alternating sides each time when we lunge. So I want you to lift up from a lunge right there. Meet at the top of your mat. Take a big inhale, reach up, bring your hands to heart center. It is your warrior one. Have your right foot stay to the front, left foot steps back, wherever that is for you. So the distance is where it works. And then you want to feel the engagement through the glutes. Fingertips reach up when you're ready. Check in with your breath. Feel the inhale. Feel the exhale. Take one more breath here. Hands are at your heart center. Adjust the back foot into a high lunge. So now you're going to adjust this back foot wherever it works for you to hold your high lunge. So that means your heel is up. Bring your fingertips up, adding a little bit more challenge. Keep the back leg active. Add your twist as your fingertips reach side to side. And see if you can keep your front foot grounded, knees shooting forward. With an inhale, fingertips reach up. Open into your warrior two. So now you're going to adjust the back foot wherever it needs to go, warrior two. So feel the weight balanced in right and left foot, as well as feeling the grounding down through your feet. Your gaze is over your front fingertips, and you check in with your breath. So there's the inhale, diaphragm, ribs, chest. As you exhale, feel your feet ground down into the floor. From here, you're straightening the front leg. We're taking triangle. You're gonna slide to the front and then open your arms, ceiling to floor, as long as it works for you. Keep in mind, if it bothers your back, your hip, any pain, you adjust it. Maybe you come up higher, you make any adjustments that you need. This is a lot of core, a lot of strength in your legs. With an inhale, warrior two, bring yourself up, add the bend back in the front knee. Settle into your warrior two. Bring your hands to heart center, step to the top of your mat, and we repeat this on the other side. It will be warrior one here. Left foot is to the front, right foot steps back, fingertips go up. So I want you to feel this settling down through your feet, and I want that to be even. So your front and your back leg are working equally. You're focused on your breath. Hands are coming to your heart center. Here is the high lunge. You're adjusting the back foot, so now the heel is up. Fingertips reach up here. Now keep the back leg active. Add your twist as your fingertips go side to side. Check in with your breath. It often changes when we twist, so keep that steady inhale, steady exhale. Fingertips reach up, return to your center. Warrior two. Now you adjust the back foot as you open up into your warrior two. Soften the shoulders. Your gaze is over your front fingertips. Feel the breath, diaphragm, ribs, chest. As you exhale, feel your feet ground into the mat. Front leg straightens. Here's your triangle as you reach and you open. Check in with your breath here. Feel the core engaged. Feel the strength of your legs as you lift. Warrior two, bring yourself up. Settle into the pose one more time. Gaze is over the front fingertips. Now you're going to take your inhale. We're going to windmill our hands to the floor and come back into our plank here. You might need to make adjustments, but however you want to get there, we are going to meet in our plank and hold your plank right here. Lower yourself to the mat and take a cobra here. Your hands are by your rib cage, your shoulders back, and your cobra high, low, wherever it feels good for you. Bring yourself back down, and now we meet hands and knees. So you're going to bring yourself back up to your hands and knees. Take a cow cat here. Drop your belly, look up, and then we round through the spine. We're meeting right in the center. I want you to get yourself centered here. First, we're going to do some work for our hamstrings, but we need to keep our core engaged and our hips level. We're going to take one foot, keeping the knee bent, and take the bottom of the foot to the ceiling, and then bring it down. Here comes the lift up and the lift down. Now I need you to pull in your core and keep your low back stable as you lift and lower. You push the bottom of the foot to the ceiling, you bring it down. So I'm not really worried about how high the leg goes. I want you to feel the engagement in your body. We're doing 3 more here. Here it comes. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the leg down. Give yourself a little child's pose so you can get a break. And we're going to take it to the other side. So whatever you need, give yourself a little break here. Stretch it out. And then return back to your hands and knees. And we get ready to take it to the other side. So make sure core is pulled in. And now we push the bottom of the foot towards the ceiling. And you bring it down. You press the leg up. You bring it down. Are you keeping your core engaged as you move the leg up and down? Are you keeping your weight centered as you lift and lower, or do you find yourself leaning to the side? Here's 3, 2, and 1. Now go ahead, bring yourself down. Your leg is down. Come down to your forearms. We're going to take a little forearm plank. When you're ready, you can walk your legs back. Maybe you choose to stay on your knees today for your plank. But maybe you choose to lift your knees up. Wherever you are, feel that engagement. Now we want our elbows under our shoulders to make it comfortable. We have that lift up between our shoulder blades. So if you like to collapse through your shoulder blades, see if you can lift up, zip the core, and feel some length from the heel to the top of your head. Take one more breath here. Knees come down, press your hips back. Here is that stretch one more time, hips back. We're returning to our hands and knees, and we're doing one more move here. You're going to take one leg straight out behind. Now the whole idea, the challenge is to keep your hips level as you make the movement. We tap the toe to the outside, and then you cross the leg behind you. So it's out to the side tap. So think half jack, and now you're crossing the leg to the other side of your mat. Now to make it the most effective, you want to make sure you keep your hips level and your core engaged. So this is really about stability here. You take the leg out, and then you take it across. Bring that leg in, and we're doing the same thing on the other side. Take the leg out behind, switching sides, level your hips, pull the core in, and tap the toe to the outside, and then cross the toe behind. Toe goes to the outside, toe crosses to the other side. And how big that range of motion is depends on where you have the full stability. We take it one more time. You tap to the outside. You tap across. Bring your knee down right here. Take a cow cat. Release your spine. Make it feel good. Now we're going to come up to standing from our lunge position. One leg goes out to the front. Try to alternate which side you lift up with. Press in. Bring yourself up. And there's your stand right here. We're going to bring ourselves into some balancing. We're going to start by taking it into our tree pose. So wherever you like to take your tree pose. Now we're going to go from tree pose into like a half dancer. So I just want you to keep in mind, we're going to be doing a couple moves right here. So when you're ready, stand tall, choose the leg you want to start with. Tree pose is first. So you're going to pick where you want your tree pose. I'll be keeping my hands at heart center today. Feel free to lift yours up if you want. Find your focal spot. Now from the tree pose, I want you to take the heel towards your hips, your glutes, and add your stretch here for the quad. Now feel free to take a break in between if you want to, and we hold this stretch right here. And then you gently release it down, shake it out. So now you know what's coming on the other side. Give yourself a little shake. Tree poses first. You're going to stand up tall. First, you get that really good grounding through the foot. Kickstand, great option. Here comes lower high, wherever you want to take your tree pose today. And then we hang out here. From here, we start taking the heel up. So this is where we're adding this stretch here. We're still working on our balance as we hold it. We relax the arm and leg down. Give yourself a little shake. Shake it out, shake it out. And we're gonna do a figure four. Your options. Figure four is about opening our leg to the side. So you might keep yourself here. I'm gonna bring my leg up and sit back. It's the beginning of the figure four stretch right here. But if you need to keep your toes down or use the wall, go for it. This is your chance to stretch through your hips a little bit. There's a hold, and then we have our balance challenge. And then you gently bring yourself up. And what we did on one side, we do on the other. Give yourself the little shake. Get the grounding down. And then, like I said, you could keep it lower. That might feel best. You could take it up higher. Find your balance as you hold it here. You hold it just a little bit longer as you stretch through the hip. You bring yourself all the way up. Add some hip circles, just a nice release for your hips. Take it around in one direction. Take it around in the other direction. We're taking this into our goddess pose. You can meet on your mat with your feet a little wider. We'll start with our hands at heart center. Our toes go to the corners, and then we slide down as we take our goddess. Now feel that opening here. Pull in the core, lift your chest, and hold it right here in your goddess pose. So we're holding goddess, feeling the feet ground into the mat. Check in with your breath. Feel that inhale, diaphragm, ribs, chest. Feel the exhale. And now we're going to bring ourselves up, slide down one more time. Take it, slide down, sitting down, maybe a little bit lower through your hips if you can. And now bring yourself all the way up. Take your toes, have them point forward. It's a forward fold here. You can start with your hands at your hips. Take an inhale. Here's your forward fold as you go down. And then wherever this feels good or is appropriate for you. So it just depends where it's right for you, where you would take the pose. To come out of the pose, you use an inhale, you make sure your knees are soft, you bring your hands to your hips, and you bring yourself all the way up to standing. You're going to walk your feet in. Now we are going to do one more balancing. We're going to do some knee lifts into a side leg lift into our warrior three. It is going to be stand up tall. we're gonna bring the knee in. So I went this way because I need to have space. We're gonna take our leg out behind. So first you're gonna hold your knee lift to the front. Then we're gonna bring that knee in and take the leg to the side. Stand up tall, reach to the side wherever it's appropriate for you. And then you're going to sweep that leg back. Here comes your warrior three, wherever it's appropriate for you. And then you bring yourself up. And we have the other side to go. The knee up, finding your balance here. Remember, we always want to stand up tall, which means we have to engage through the standing hip glutes. And now you're going to take that off to the side. So leg to the side, wherever it's appropriate for you, and you can stay upright. Toes can always be down. Here comes your warrior three as you sweep the leg back. And you're taking it, again, wherever it works for you. So toes might be down, they might be up a little. And then you bring yourself all the way up. We're gonna do that one more time. You're gonna stand up tall, add the knee lift. And if you wanna take your hands to heart center with this one. Now you take the leg to the side. I'm gonna take my fingertips up. Think of it as star pose right here. And then from here, it is warrior three. And I'm gonna sweep my arms back, airplane arms, as I take my leg back and hold it here. Then you bring yourself up. Gracefully, that wasn't gracefully. And we get ready to take it to the other side. Here's knee up to start, hands heart center or not. And now we're getting ready to take the leg to this side. So there's the reach out and the lift. And here's your warrior three, airplane, press back, lengthening. And bring yourself all the way up right here. Give yourself a nice little shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Now to get down to the floor, we are going to do our malasana, that's our goddess squat. We're going to bring ourselves down that way. If when you get there, you like to have a block, and this is the one where we're squatting low this way, block can go at whatever height it feels good. We are going to keep it there, and then we will be adding our foam roller when we get to the floor as well. I'm going to show you this is how we're going to get down. You might choose a different version to get there, but I do want to meet, if you can, in this seated position. It is so great for us. So if that means you get down in another method, that's okay. Now I'm using the block, just a little, I like to use the block, just personal preference. I am gonna add a twist here, meaning we're gonna take the right hand down to the floor and you're gonna open the left arm up as you take a little extra stretch here. And then you bring this arm back to center, take a little reset in the middle, hands, heart center. And I am using the elbows to open my legs up a little bit more. I'm adding a little bit extra, but opening up my legs with the elbows. Left hand is going down to the floor, that's the grounding, so you can add this extension up as you twist. And then you go ahead, release it, bring it back to center. We're gonna hold it just a little bit longer. This pose is so great for so many reasons. Great for our hips, our pelvis, getting the mobility in our ankles, our knees, our hips. Take one more full breath here. And then you can go ahead, relax it. Boat pose is where we're going next. I will be taking the block out from underneath. We're gonna do a boat pose. We're also gonna do our reverse tabletop with our hands on the floor and lifting our hips. Those are the two poses we're gonna do. First, it's boat, and remember all your options. Sometimes I like to keep my feet down and just add my arms. I am gonna lift my legs today, but that is just wherever you feel like taking it. You might choose to hold onto your thighs. Like I said, there's never a right way to do it. It's checking with your body. What is the right way for today, right now in this part of your practice? And then make sure you can check in with your breath. Now our feet are gonna come down. This is your reverse tabletop. Now if your shoulders give you a lot of problems, I just want you to lift your chest. Otherwise, push into your feet, lift your hips. This is gonna be a full reverse tabletop as you open up. We are gonna repeat this one more time. That means your hips are gonna come down to the floor. You're returning into your boat pose, wherever that is for you. Now, if this is working good and you want to add more challenge, take your arms up. Check in with your breath. We do want to focus on being able to keep our core pulling in versus pushing out. Now you would release your arms and legs down. Here comes your lift up here of your hips, or not. Now remember, shoulders, always be really nice to them. And there's your lift. Hold it, breathe. And then gently release it down. Take a bound angle butterfly pose here, bottoms of the feet together. Add your lean forward. And bring yourself all the way up right there. Now this is where I do want you to grab your foam roller. First we're gonna do, and this is optional, we're gonna do a bridge with the foam roller underneath our feet, and then we're going to do our bird dog using our foam roller as well. So feet would be on the foam roller, and this is how we're gonna set ourselves up for bridge. Now, if you're not comfortable with this and you don't wanna do this, you don't have to. Skip the roller. We do bridges all the time without it. I'm just bringing in different variations. You would press into the feet, lift your hips, and yes, it feels a little bit different as you hold it here. So we're gonna lift, think, same idea, the tailbone needs to shoot away. We lift up, we hold it here so you can get that nice stretch, but also the engagement through your hips, your glutes. We're gonna hold it for about 10 more seconds, feeling the challenge here. We start bringing your legs or your hips down, and I'm gonna roll my foam roller to my hand so I can reach my foam roller here. Then once you have it, I'm gonna take the foam roller between my hand and my knee. So if you have a longer one, just adjust to where you're holding it. We're gonna take one side, reach and bring it in. We're doing like a one side, we usually do more of a coordination. Today we're gonna hold it here and take it out and bring it in. You take it out, you bring it in. One more time, and then we take it to the other side. Arm is up, leg is up, and then you add the reach. And if you choose not to use a foam roller, that's okay. We do this move all the time without the foam roller. This just gives another element to the movement. There's 3. Here's your 2. And there's 1. And then you bring it up. One more time, we're gonna take the foam roller underneath our feet, taking your bridge, holding it here. And again, no foam roller, that's perfectly fine. Do it without the foam roller. Feet are on, press into your hips, lift it up wherever it works for you. check your form, right? We want to make sure we have our tailbone shooting towards the back of your knees. Make sure your space for your neck, which means you need to open your throat to the ceiling. And we are going to hang out here for about 10 more seconds. So really feel the engagement as you hold the pose. And then gently lower your hips down. And you can take your foam roller and we're gonna slide it underneath our hips. We're gonna start going into some stretching. If you don't have a foam roller, that's perfectly fine. We do this without the foam roller often too. As I slid it right, it's like not at my complete low back, it's more under my upper glute area. And you're gonna extend one leg out. This is a huge opener for the hip. We usually do this down on the floor when we're flat. Today I'm just adding the foam roller, which means we're going to get bigger stretch through the front of our hip. And if you're really rocking it today and it feels good, you could bring the other leg up. Now that's an option. I don't want you to force it. If it causes any discomfort or pain, then I need you to set the leg down because this is a really big, massive stretch right here. You would set the leg up, down, you want to switch. So start by straightening the other leg. First, I want you to get this stretch, this feeling. The other part I want you to keep in mind is what you did on one side is not always appropriate on the other side. Because it felt really good on one side doesn't mean it's going to feel really good on the other side. If you choose to lift the leg, it's an option. Knee is coming into your chest. This is similar to what we do when we don't have the foam roller, but it's a lot more, it's bigger, deeper stretch because we have our hips elevated here. Now we're going to take that bent leg and now both your legs are going to go out straight unless it causes pain. Again, this is huge. This is a big stretch, so I always want you to be careful when you're doing this. You can start walking your feet in right here and give yourself little windshield wipers on your foam roller. So just take it a little side to side. We're going to bring this up into a seated position. I'm going to have my butt on my foam roller. Be careful when you get up. If you need to come off to get there, do that. Otherwise, we're going to go right into foam rolling our glutes. This would be your figure four. If you choose not to use the foam roller, you would be doing a figure four to stretch out your hip. Otherwise, if you're with me, I am just rolled over on one side. If you need more, then you would take the ankle over and you're adding extra weight onto your one glute, one hip here. So we're going to stay here for about 15 more seconds. It's your chance to stretch out. Find any of those knots. So when you find a knot, you kind of hold it there and let it release. Now we're going to take it over to the other side. So if you're not using the foam roller, just switch the leg for your figure four. If you are using the foam roller, you're going to start adding the rolling. Maybe this is plenty. So if you have a lot of knots in your butt because it's tight, then stay there. If you need more, you take the leg over, you're in your figure four. That's adding weight into the glute as you roll it out. And then you're kind of get all sections, and if you find a tight spot, just hang out there. So when we roll, much like when we do with hand weights, you move slow, you take your time. You're going to finish it right there. You can go ahead, bring your leg down. We're going to take this into our hamstrings. So now we're going to roll out the back of our thighs. And once you get there, so maybe you're rolling both your thighs together. I'm going to be rolling here. And again, now this is a hamstring. We're releasing our hamstrings. If you're choosing not to use the foam roller, do a hamstring stretch, meaning maybe you're going to stretch and reach towards your toes. I am going to be with here. And then again, if you find tight spots, just hang out there and I guess enjoy it and breathe. because it can be uncomfortable at times. Now from our hamstrings, we're gonna just let our butt come down to the floor, and we're going into a calf stretch. So now this is all about your calves, and I know the hardest part of foam rolling is this whole, you gotta lift your body, roll it. That means if you wanna do one leg at a time so you can have the other leg help, feel free, go for it. Just make sure when you do your calf, get the inside and the outside of the calf as you roll. I like to spend extra time on the lower body, the calf, because it's such an important part to keep flexible. And when I say that, I don't want to use the word flexible so much, but when our calves get tight, it can make our feet and our ankles hurt. It can make our low back uncomfortable. So when we start losing all of that mobility through our calves, we start affecting other parts of our body. So we're gonna hang out here just a little bit longer. And like I said, if you wanna do one at a time, and when you find tight spots, you just, you go breathe, hold it there, let it release. It's so important to keep this movement in our calves. And we are going to go ahead and start finishing it up there. I'm gonna have you take the foam roller. We're gonna roll out our quadriceps, and then we'll get our inner and outer thighs. Again, I get it, when we roll, it's upper body strength too, so consider it a full body workout when we do this. So I'm coming onto the front side. Now our foam roller, it's about rolling the muscles. Quadricep as you roll in one direction, and then you would roll in the other direction. And again, if you're tight any place, just hang out there. And what I like to do is maybe when you find those tight spots, those little areas, sometimes you can feel how they affect other areas of your body. So it's a chance to really get more in touch and in tune with what is happening in your body. From here, we're gonna do our inner thighs. So I'm gonna be taking my foam roller, inner thigh, a little bit diagonal. And right here, you're gonna roll the inner thigh. And here's the thing, if you're like, oh, nope, I don't wanna do that, I don't wanna do that part, feel free to roll a different area that you need more time. I just like to explore all areas because sometimes it's surprising where your tight spots are. Now, if you're not using the foam roller, this is an inner thigh stretch. This would be your butterfly bound angle. You would be getting the stretch right there. We're gonna take just about 5 more seconds on this side. And let's go ahead, switch it to the other side. So I'm gonna just flip over so you can see what I'm doing here. And again, if you're not using a foam roller, you could do a V, take your feet out wide and get that stretch through the inner thighs right here. And I like to just take your time. And like I said, you can find these areas and you're like, wow, I can find a tight spot and I can feel it maybe in your hip or maybe in your knee. And that kind of gives you an idea of where you might need to focus on when you're stretching and when you're moving to keep a balanced body.
Then if you find that it's one side is way more sensitive than the other side, that's also going to be an indicator that you favor a side, and you probably want to try balancing yourself out a little bit. Now you're going to finish this little roll, and we have our outer thigh, our IT band, and as I have said every time we do this, it is not my thing. I will show it. I'll do some, but I don't know how long I'll hang out on it. But the idea is that I try. So this is your outer thigh, and you roll. And the crazy thing is, some people like this. You might be one of them. Not for me, but I'm trying. And I have like a lot of, I'm really doing like a side plank here. I wouldn't say that I'm having much pressure on my thigh at all, but it kind of gives me an idea. It's super tight, so it's probably something for me to focus on. And then once you finish this side, we're going to take it over to the other side. So that was 30 seconds, and I felt every single second. Here comes the other side. So once we get this, we are going to be finishing up with the lower body. So here comes that little off to one side. So this is our outer hip, outer thigh stretch. This would be taking the leg across your midline, if you choose to do that. And there goes your roll. And your release. Finish it up right there. Now we're going to use the foam roller. I want to get some of our neck, our upper back, some of those areas. And then depending on time, we'll see what we can do with this strap. I don't know if we'll have time or not. So first, neck. So make it right here. The foam roller is underneath your neck, and you could take a little look to one side, and then a look to the other side. And those are the occipital bones behind your head. Sometimes it feels good to have just that little bit of pressure there. It just releases some of the tension that we hold in our neck. Now we're going to bring the foam roller kind of underneath your shoulder blades. So I'm just rolling it down a little bit. So once you're there, I prefer taking my chin to my chest and adding some rolling between my shoulder blades a little bit, and just finding that area that you might find tightness. We often get tightness right at the bottom of our shoulder blades. Now this isn't for your vertebrae. We always want to be nice. This is about finding the muscles that are tight. And then while we're here, let's just roll out our lats. So you can kind of roll to the right a little bit and just get that big muscle group that's under your armpit and roll it out a little bit while you're here. So it's that big muscle group. So you're a little bit off to the side. And then let's take it over to the other side. So you could gently roll yourself over to the other side. Find that large lat muscle that's kind of under your armpit off to the side. And just a little bit longer. And then we're going to take our foam roller and we're going to set it out the long way. So if you have a long foam roller, you can go from tailbone to the top of your head. Mine is shorter today, so I'm going to actually take a block and set it under my head. So I'm using this to stretch out your chest. You may or may not like this. Just check in with the foam roller. Let your head, so if you have a long foam roller, you can take it there. This is a big chest opener. If you, sometimes we spend so much time forward when we're driving, we're at our computer, even when we watch TV, we're usually a little bit rounded forward. This is a chance to open up and get a nice opening for your chest, your shoulders. Now, if you want to add little floor angels or snow angels, get a little bit more mobility through your shoulders, you can do that. Just move nice and smooth. Feel that opening. Just take a couple more. And now from here, you're going to finish that one carefully. Take your foam roller and you can set it off to the side. I'm going to have you all meet on the floor. Take the block out of the way, take your foam roller out of the way. Just meet down on the floor. Give yourself a big hug. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug right here. Let your knees come in. Take a happy baby. The bottoms of the feet go towards the ceiling. Tailbone relaxes down. You're lengthening all the way from the top of the head to the tailbone. Just feel your back melt into your mat as you lengthen down. Little side to side rocking when you're ready. It's a little back massage. You bring yourself back to the center. Bring your knees back into your chest. With your knees in towards your chest, open your arms to the side, little spinal twist. Take your knees off to one side, wherever that is for you, and just give yourself a nice opening as you take the twist. Now twisting, maybe you should keep it smaller, maybe you keep it big. Knees are going to come back to the center, and then you gently let them go over to the other side. Bring your legs back to center. Knees are going to come in. Hug one knee in, take the other leg out. And once you're there, if it works for you today, it is your half happy baby. So that top foot, bottom of the foot goes towards the ceiling. I'm just giving you a huge, massive stretch right here for a couple different areas of your body. You would bring your knees back into your chest. Hug here. Then you straighten the other leg out. Start with the knee in, leg out. And then here comes that big stretch as the bottom of the foot goes towards the ceiling if you want it. So think of it, it's a half happy baby as you hold it here. Knees return into your chest. Add little low back circles. So little back massage. We did all of the foam rolling. I just want you to feel the release through your back. Switch directions. Now you're taking the feet to the floor, and it's a butterfly bound angle. So bottoms of the feet come together, knees open up, and just let yourself start relaxing here. So I start releasing any tension, kind of scan, see how your shoulders feel. Let your arms come by your side. Palms are up, just a little relaxed upper lower body, releasing through the low back. Take one more breath here. Now you would bring your knees up towards the ceiling, a little windshield wiper, last little movement here before we get ready to take it into Shavasana. So I want you to feel any little extra stretching you might need to release tension so that you can relax when you settle into your Shavasana. So right here, you take your knees side to side. And now start getting yourself set up for your comfortable Shavasana. So if you like to put a pillow under your head, if you like to take the foam roller, put it underneath your knees, anything that helps give you release so you can relax down. Then take one more big breath, big inhale, and blow it out really hard. Blow out all that tension. Shake out your fingers, wiggle your hips, and let yourself melt down into your mat. You now allow your breath to go at your pace, your rhythm. Allow your body to get heavy and settle down into the floor. Feel your eyes sink back, your jaw release, your tongue drops. Should your mind wander, bring it to your breath as a focal spot. We begin adding movement in our fingers and our toes. We take a deeper breath, a deeper inhale. Add a long stretch, reach your arms overhead. Knees come into your chest. We gently take it off to one side. It's your chance to reconnect with your breath. Taking your inhale, taking your exhale. We start bringing ourselves up into a seated position. I will have a seat on my block. Hands meet, heart center. And with an inhale, we reach our arms up. Hands, heart center as you exhale. Namaste. Thank you.